Question number 7 says, an infinite number of charges each equal to 4 microcoulomb are placed along x-axis at x equal to 1, 2, 4, 8 meter, etc. So you can just treat it a line which is towards infinite, and then at x equal to 0 we have a charge of 1 coulomb placed. But at x equal to 1 meter, we have a charge of 4 microcoulomb placed, and at x equal to 2 meter, we have a charge of 4 microcoulomb again placed, and at x equal to 4 meter, we have a charge of 4 microcoulomb again placed, and at x equal to 8 meter, we have a charge of 4 microcoulomb placed again, and like that. What is the net force on this? So I can say it will experience net force which is F1 plus F2 plus F3, all forces, because from every charge there will be a force of repulsion only, and they are all placed at a distance 1, 2, 4, 8 like that. So if I say net force on 1 will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught into 4 microcoulomb into 1 divided by 1 square plus 4 microcoulomb into 1 divided by this and this divided by 2 square plus 4 microcoulomb into 1 divided by this and this one divided by 4 square, their respective distance. So I can say the net force is 9 into 10 to the power 9 into 4 into 10 to the power minus 6, and here 1 by 1 plus 1 by 4 plus 1 by 16 plus 1 by 64 plus so on. And this is GP series, and for the ratio here is 1 by 4 every time, and the sum formula here is A by 1 minus R. A is what? First value 1, and R stands for ratio, it is 1 by 4. So let's put the net force formula here. So it is 36 into 10 to the power 3 into A by 1 minus 1 by 4. So you will get it 48 into 10 to the power 3 Newton as the net force acting at the 1 coulomb charge placed at origin. So it has again checked your concept of how will you add GP. Now question number 8 is on the similar lines, but you will appreciate this question, although it is a question of the triangular arrangement of the charges only, but it is going to test you further. Question says there are two equal positive point charges separated by a distance 2a. So here you have got 2 point charges, say plus q and plus q, and there is a separation between them as 2a. Two equal point charges separated by a distance 2a. A point test charge is located in a plane which is normal to, so it's midway. There is a point test charge here, say Q0, and it is located somewhere midway between them at some distance, say R. Question is, calculate radius R of the circle of symmetry, or calculate the value of R for which force on the test charge is maximum. So if I say, how about the force on the test charge in this situation? There will be a force Fa and there will be a force Fb. If this part of the distance is A, this is R, this is root R square plus A square. If this angle is theta and this angle is theta, then I can say alternatively this angle is also theta and this angle is also theta. Let's see the value of Fa and Fb. Both will be same, 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q naught. This is charge q naught here, by root r square plus a square whole square, so r square plus a square. So at this point charge q naught, the forces are same. And the net force, if I look at this, the vertical horizontal Fa cos theta and Fb cos theta will cancel each other. The net force will be here 2f sin theta. F sin theta plus F sin theta. So net force here will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught 2q q naught by r square plus a square. So this is 2f, and let's put the value of sin theta. It will be r by root r square plus a square. So I am getting the net force which is going to act ultimately on this charge. But question is, I need to get the value of r for what r force is maximum. So we are looking for what value of r this force will be maximum. It means I am looking for d force net by dr should be 0, condition of maxima. And if I put at the right side, all these constants will be going into 0. So you are just left with d by dr r into r square plus a square to the power minus 3 by 2. So we are looking for what relation for r and a this force will be maximum. So I am just writing it again. D force by dr should be 0, and we have got dr r square plus a square to the power minus 3 by 2 by dr should be 0. Now how to differentiate it? You can one side say r square plus a square to the power minus 3 by 2 into dr by dr, and other side you can say r into d r square plus a square to the power minus 3 by 2 by dr should be 0. So here you are getting r square plus a square to the power minus 3 by 2 plus r into, here you will apply chain rule. You will say d r square plus a square to the power minus 3 by 2 divided by d r square plus a square into d r square by dr plus d a square by dr should be 0. So here it is 1 by r square plus a square to the power 3 by 2 plus r, and this part will be minus 3 by 2 r square plus a square to the power minus 5 by 2, and here it will be 2r, and dA square by dr will be 0. So 2 gets cancelled. So if I take 1 by r square plus a square to the power 3 by 2 common in this whole arrangement, what I will be getting is 1 minus 3r square by r square plus a square equal to 0. So this can be brought to 0. So we are getting 1 is equal to 3r square by r square plus a square. 3r square is equal to r square plus a square. So 2r square is equal to a square, or r is a by root 2. So for the value of r, which is a by root 2, we will get the force as maximum. And what is the direction of this force? So direction of this force was, the direction of this force was here along the line joining, net force. So that's how we can find this question. Question number 8, condition of maxima was applicable here. Now I am going to take these question number 9, 10 and 11 And they are very important question, and you will enjoy doing these questions, and you will appreciate the way the concepts are discussed in the increasing difficulty order in these three questions. Like question number 9, we talk about there are two small spheres, each carrying a charge of q coulomb and having a mass of m, are suspended by insulating threads, each of length L meter and of negligible mass from a fixed point. So the situation what is provided here is, just imagine that there is a arrangement where two insulating threads are having two balls suspended at the end of them, and the balls are carrying charge q each, and the balls are having mass m each, where these threads through which they are suspended are insulating. The advantage of having insulating thread will be that the charge will not leak through these threads. In case if mass of the ball is considered to be 0, we can say that the two balls will in fact arrange themselves like this if these are massless ball, because they both are carrying charge q. The string may have a length L each, and if mass is 0, if we have negligible mass, the two balls can adjust themselves like this, and in that situation the force of repulsion will be balanced by tension in the string. So we can say tension is equal to force of repulsion. Or maybe in a situation where the two balls are not even hanging, they are kept on surface and they are connected by string of length L and L, or maybe 2L, then tension will balance the force of repulsion. But in this case, we are provided that the two balls, they are actually suspended. They are not having 0 mass, they are having mass m. And these two balls are carrying some charge q. They are carrying some charge q, and also they are having mass m kg. So they both are having a weight mg, and the string is having length L each. In this situation where they are having a finite mass, they are not going to remain horizontal like we were assuming when the mass will be 0. Tension will balance the force of repulsion. But in this case, they will certainly stop somewhere, making maybe an angle theta with the vertical, both the balls. And maybe at that time when the system is at stop, maybe the separation between them is x. In this situation, if I look for the other forces, the situation where the balls which are carrying charge q each, having a weight mg, are in stable equilibrium at a distance x, maybe x is assumed, and theta is also assumed here. In that case, the other forces which are acting, which we can assume are force of repulsion on both the balls and tension in the string. So if I have to make an equation how the forces are balanced, in this situation I can say one component of the tension, which is T cos theta, balances the weight of the ball. So it is one component of the tension, which is T cos theta, will balance the weight of the ball, and other component of the tension, which is T sin theta, will actually balance the force of repulsion. So I can say it is T sin theta which is managing the force of repulsion, balancing the force of repulsion, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by x square. The gap between the two charges is x. So if I divide, I'll get tangent theta, which is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught, second by first, will be q square by x square mg. Second by first, tangent theta will be 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by x square mg. Now, if I look in this equation, x is unknown variable. X is a variable which we have introduced later, which is not mentioned in the question. What is mentioned in the question? The mass is m kg, the length of the string is L, and charge is Q. So I need to write something for x square here. Can we write sine theta in this arrangement, sine theta, as x by 2, the half of it is x by 2 by L. So x can be written as 2L sine theta. Now we introduce where each thread makes an angle theta with a vertical when equilibrium reaches is also available to us. Theta is also a variable which is mentioned in the question. So I can write everything in terms of theta. So finally I can say tangent theta is 1 by 4 pi epsilon naught q square by 4 L square sine square theta mg. And if I bring q square one side, I will get the relation q square is equal to 16 pi epsilon naught L square mg sine theta, sine square theta, and to tangent theta. So we can get that relation. What we are supposed to prove that q square is equal to 16 pi epsilon naught mg sine square theta tangent theta into L square. So I hope the concept is clear that in this situation it is going to stop somewhere else instead of becoming horizontal or just remain vertical, and say it is making an angle theta at that time with the vertical. So the two component t cos theta will balance the weight and t sin theta will balance the force of repulsion. And as in this present question, we were provided L as a variable in the question, we were provided theta as a variable in the question, we were provided q and m as a variable in the question, so we can get q square in terms of all of them. So this is question number 9.